Right, welcome back to the channel. First job today, we're going to go back and sort that water leak out that we started last episode. We connected it in last time, but it was still leaking because the tee was further back. They've actually dug down and they found the tee. It was only probably a metre and a half further back. It's a right weird setup because the supply's going in everywhere on this job. It's actually a 35mm copper pipe that disappears under and then it comes back up in the building in blue. So somewhere when they built that extension, they probably hit the copper pipe, or whether the copper pipes was in their foundation or whatever, and they must have jointed it and brought it up in blue. So I'm guessing either the copper pipe split or the fittings come off or whatever, but we're just going to, well, we've done away with it and we thought we'd bypassed it, but we hadn't quite. So what I've done is I've picked up we're going to have to join it back onto the 50mm out. So I've got a universal transition coupler. I've never used one of these ones before, actually, these sliding seals, but I just need a bit of 50mm blue poly to reduce back down to 25. So I'm hoping I've got some at my house. I thought I'd got some down the yard, but I think there's some behind my shed. So I'm going to go pick that up, get that job sorted, and then we'll see what else is going to be in the episode. But yeah, we'll crack straight on with it. Right, I found a bit of 50mm. I've got, well, not a whole coil of it here, but most of the coil. What I'm hoping to do, I've never used one of these plastons before, but this will take me from 48 to 51. So I think the old pipe in the ground is about 47, but they don't do one in between. They only do 40 to 43 and then 48 to 51, so it must be sort of 48. So it's like a universal transition coupler, big o-ring in there, grab ring. So if we pop an insert on the 50mm, I mean they're tight. Insert in there. Tight inserts, but they're fine. We'll go. So there's like, let me show you, like a grab ring with teeth on it that cut into the pipe. So we'll put the nut on, we'll put that on, big o-ring in there, and then that'll push. Oh, it's a slip as well, so makes it easier to get in. So these are like a, as I say, I've never used one before, but it did say they were slip couplings. We don't need to be all the way through, so we'll just go somewhere about there. Will be ample, as long as the grab ring's on the pipe. I don't know why they've ran such a big pipe in. I mean, it's feeding about 4 buildings, but the building we're in is 25 at the metre, then it must jump up to this 47 alkathene, and there's bits of copper, there's bits of everything. But the building that we're feeding has only got 3 sets of toilets in it and a couple of water heaters. There's nothing in it. So I don't know why they've ran such big piping, and I reckon when they built the extension, they must have caught the original copper main and converted it to blue. But I reckon it's either split on the copper or the fittings jumped off, because the amount of water that's leaking is horrendous. But either way, we'll get it sorted. So we've ran a new supply in, and all I'm going to do, well, we thought we'd got it last time, but the tee was before where we joined on, but it don't really matter. So that'll go onto the alkathene in the ground. It'll make more sense when we get to the job, or if you've watched the last video. And then this, oh, they're tight. Oops. Edit that bit out. It's only the end of the insert. This will go on there. Again, your grab ring thing. That's all the way in there, skeet. See, these are the proper things for tightening them as well. I don't always use them, but they can make life a bit easier. That's all the way on anyway. I just thought I'd make this up at home. Save me doing it. Well, I could have done it on the job. Sometimes when you've got people watching you, I know you guys are watching, but when there's a hole in the ground, everybody seems to want to have a look in it, and it's hard to film. And I need to turn the water off to about 3 4 properties, so I'll get everything ready and then I can just jump in. And then I've got a set to go from 50mm to my 25mm, but I can never ever remember how to do these. I think you do away with that one, and then I think that bit goes in there. Why do I get that one then as well? That one will go in there, and then that 25 will go on my pipe. Let me just make sure that is right. I see, so yeah, that on there, that on there, that on there, inserts, and then that in there. I'll take me down to my 25. That is that should be fine. So that end will go on our new stop tap, that end will go on the Alcaphene, and we'll go and get that made up and in. It's just if that doesn't fit, but I think it should. First thing we've got to do is bail this out. My new stop tap I put in yesterday is down here where my left foot is, and then the T-junction with the copper is over there. So I'll get this bailed out and get it sorted. This is the T-piece where it goes through into the building. So that one there is coming from the meter and then feeding other rooms, other buildings, and the copper must be split underneath. But when they built this extension, they must have hit that because they bought it up in blue poly. So we're going to cut it there, bring that through, and then just bring it blue straight onto my new stop tap. And this stop tap here will just shut this building off then. I don't want to turn it off now. So yeah, we'll turn it off on the road. In fact, that should just slide over. Bang, straight on there. They've not given me a lot of room, but these plasts on, that will tighten that up. Probably not going to be able to film it very easily, but yeah, that's how they used to do them, you see. Copper water mains, and I would say it's either leaking where they've jointed it, or that copper is just opened up. See how soft the sand is. Absolute nightmare. That one there is what we thought was feeding this building. There was another stop tap here, but God knows where that goes. It must feed some old outbuildings, or I don't know. Nobody said they ain't got any water, so we're just going to leave that disconnected. When I opened the stop tap up, there was water gushing through there, so it's obviously an open-ended pipe somewhere. Again, just a massive dead leg under the ground. But what I'm hoping is, well, I'm hoping that don't feed the neighbouring property. I can't see how it does, but I'll have to be a bit careful when I cut it. There's joints everywhere, but yeah, we'll do what we can with it, as we always do, and then we'll do a meter check, make sure it's not spinning, and that'll be happy days. I just nicked that to get rid of the pressure, and we're going to wang it off there in a minute. I'm leaving myself an option to join that back on there if we do need to, but I don't think we should. Right, that one's off. We'll see if this leaks. Should be alright. We're just doing a water meter check now. Is actually, to be honest with you, one of the other properties could be using water, but none of them fittings are leaking. Trouble is, there's 2 or 3 properties off this, so it's certainly not spinning anywhere near as fast as it was before. It's like a helicopter. So this stop tap here is for this property now, so the builders will put the Atlas unit over there. I've set the bottom piece up, they'll put the duct up, lid on top, mark water, and that's me done. God knows where that old 28mm went. This job we're going to next is, well, I had a nightmare here the other week. That's the only way I can describe it. I came and first fixed a radiator, and I'd got my gas safe inspection in the afternoon. Anyway, long story short, he condemned me install. It's one I filmed on my YouTube. He said my gas pipe was too small. Was getting a 4 millibar dropper across my gas pipe. I said to him, there's no way it's the gas pipe. I offered to do all the calculations, no way that risked the boiler. Anyway, ripped all the gas pipe out, put it in 28 mil. I wasn't happy. I said it would make no difference. Sure enough, it made no difference. It was a regulator fault, but he wouldn't have it. I sent him all the... Anyway, next day I sent him all the paperwork through. I couldn't sleep that night. I sent him all the paperwork through, and he said, "Oh, I probably made a mistake there." He said, "I won't be submitting the paperwork to Gas Safe that you'd failed. We'll just let this one slide." Anyway, he rang the office and apologised. Never spoke to me, and I hadn't heard another thing back. I had no feedback from him or anything. He made me look right wally in front of the customer, because like when you're ripping out one brand new, I did it last November. I never actually posted the video. I wasn't happy. I mean, I might post it in the future, but I didn't want to get anybody in trouble. It's not about getting people in trouble or anything like that. I mean, when I worked out my gas pipe size, it was on the limit of a 1 millibar drop. It depends if you took it at a 29.47 or 31.08 kilowatt boiler. Is that right? Something like that. Anyway, it would have been about 0.9947 drop, or it'd have been about 1.0 something. So we was on the limit. I wasn't disputing that, but he said it needed to be 28. He was wrong, or I think he was. Well, he was wrong, because when I got the regulator changed, it was perfect. We got a 1 millibar drop. The standing pressure was very low at the meter as well. We'd only got 20 millibar standing pressure. We've got a working pressure of 18, which is actually half a millibar below the new IGM. But anyway, long story short, the customer does want me back in the house to go and connect the radiator up. I thought they was going to kick me out. So yeah, I was made to look a wally. But we're going back there. We're going to go up in the roof and connect the radiator up. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to going back to this one, because I was made to look like a fool in front of the customer, and there was no need for any of that. But yeah, Gas Safe have never got back to me. Well, I ain't reported it, but it'd be nice to have a bit of a feedback for him. He's just disappeared into the blue. So yeah, we'll go and get this radiator connected up, and I'll stop waffling. So they're the flow returns I put in the other day. The only way I could get them through from one roof space to the next, the extension's on the other side. There's only one radiator going in as well, by the way, was in speed fit, because there's no way you could get through. So all I did is slid some length of 15 speed fit through, slid some lagging along them, and this is where they've come to. So we need to finish lagging them up, clip them in, and then we're connecting on. So a little bit unstable up here. All this was covered in insulation. These are my flow and returns that I put this whole heating system in, but these are my flow and returns. That's, well, it don't really matter which way around, but these two here, flow and return. But there's 2 auto air vents. That was the high point in the roof. So we just need to tee into them too. But what I'll do is I'm going to put some lever valves in on this circuit that feeds kitchen radiator and tower rail, so this will be fine to tap into the 15 on here. We're only feeding 3 smallish radiators. I could take it back onto the 22, but honestly it'll be fine. So yeah, lever valves on there. Probably put lever valves on this leg as well, just for when I come back and second fix the radiator. All I have to do is knock these 2 levers off, connect the radiator in, job done. So we'll get the pressure knocked off the heating system, and we'll get these connected in. I just need to bring some clips up and a bit more lag in. But yeah, that'll be fine. I'll make sure this boiler's powered off. That was my gas one I had to change, but I'm not going to go into that now. There is a couple of drain off taps that I put down here. So it don't matter which one I go on, but I'll connect one on there, just knock the pressure off the system, and I'll get some valves up in the roof. Now they should work, because they're brand new. Well, they're new. There we go. We'll make sure they're open, so they're sucking in. So in theory, these pipes should be empty. Couple of valves in here gives me full control. Then I can always put my tees here or wherever, but I'll get some valves in here. Yeah, we'll do that. We've got a towel up here as well, just in case. And I've brought up bought up some speed fit cap ends as well. Full ball lever valves, but we'll get everything pasted up and ready just in case we get a drop of water. So a good heating system should drain down okay. All my air taps should have been more or less at the high point. I know I had to step over this board a little bit, but the system never airlocked and it's all completely drained. So I do try to do things right. Right, what I'm going to do is go down, wrap up my hose pipes so nobody falls over it, and get the system pressurised back up to this point. But we've got full control of our system now. Right, drain off tap shut. We'll get some water back in the system. I will be inhibitoring it at the end as well. Probably when I come back to do the radiator. I've only knocked the pressure off this anyway, but we'll check inhibitor levels. The only annoying thing about these, you have to take the case off. It does tell you on, but you need to power the boiler on, but they've just come up with low pressure fault. So I get that well up in the green. Hopefully there's not water pouring out in the roof, there shouldn't be. And we can get that rad connected in. Boiler's all pressurised up. I like to get these well in the green because the problem is they'll go off on low pressure and then you have to come back. Or I know I've got to still connect the other thing in yet, but we'll get it up there somewhere. 1.2 bar. So you'd have thought that'd have been a little bit higher than 1.2, wouldn't you? In theory, I could have drained it through the boiler actually. It don't matter because there's a drain on these. I could have just opened that up, but you've got no condense, but it matters not really. I'll just put a couple of kicky bits on here just to go onto them under the pipes. Ish. Yep. Look at that. Oh, that's smell. The thing that annoyed me about that gas safe inspection was he wasn't, well, obviously I have to be careful what I say here, but he wasn't prepared to listen to what I'd got to say. So it's his way or no way. And you could see anybody with experience in the gas industry would see that gas pipe was going to be about right. There's no way you'd be getting a 4 millibar drop across that. There had to be another issue with it. And he accused me of falsifying my paperwork, saying, oh, you've put 20 on your paperwork. But that's had a new meter and a new regulator since I was last here, but since I fitted the boiler, but yeah, he wasn't interested in that. So of course I put the new gas pipe in. It didn't make a jot of difference, which I knew it wouldn't. It's probably actually putting that 28 in made it worse, because on the 22 I'd bent everything, and on that I'd had to use a 90 and 445s. But anyway, sorted. But yeah, and then he rang up grovelling. Well, is grovelling the right word? Saying he's made a mistake and all that, but it doesn't help me, does it? Everybody makes mistakes, but if he just said, look, your gas pipe's a bit small, but he can't, well, he was going to cap the boiler off, because we'd only got 14.5, 15 at the boiler, which I wasn't disputing that. There was never any dispute about that, but it was just why we'd got so low working pressure at the boiler. And he says, oh, it could never have been right, X, Y and Z. Well, I don't leave anything dangerous. I am going to solder this one. I do have the press gun in the van, but just solder it. Everything else is soldered. Probably melt that lag in. So yeah, I wasn't very happy the other day. Well, the other week actually it was, not the other day. And the video was about 10 minutes from going live, and I had second thoughts because I didn't want to get anybody in trouble. But then I thought, well, yeah, obviously you have got to be careful what you post on social media, but I'd done nothing in the video wrong. I admitted that my gas pipe was, it depends, because they don't actually do a 30 kilowatt one in the book. They do like a 29.47 and a 30 point something. I did it on the 29.47. You should have really gone on the 30, but you'd have only been talking 0 point something of a millibar. It'd have made no difference. Technically it's not put into BS something, but we all know that's why. If you to test any boiler, you could find fault with anything, but to threaten to chuck me off, that's the bit I was annoyed about. But well, he did suspend me, but then he said he never submitted the paperwork, so I don't know what happened, and I never heard anything. I was expecting to get some sort of feedback thing or something, or paperwork, or I never heard a word. Is that even going to solve it? Should have pressed it, shouldn't I? Here's me trying to be a traditionalist, look, and it's really snooking me up. It's wetter in that. Blow. Right. Not going very well, that. Oh my god. Probably the worst soldering I've ever done. Pigeons have been flying over. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how you join the pipe, it's all about keeping the water in it, innit? You could use press, solder, push fit. It didn't really matter. Just keep the water in the pipes. Well, I've actually put another pair of lever valves there, just so we've got isolation of that one new radiator. It's being plastered now, but I don't know if it's going to be a couple of weeks before we can get the radiator on. So turn these two here on. I I don't know if they're using the tower rail or the other radiator, so at least they're back on now, and we've got full control of this radiator. So all we've got to do is connect that one in there, and the other one I'll just bring round in a bit of copper. I'll convert that from speed fit to plastic with a speed fit socket, because I don't like putting compression straight on there. We'll just get them lagged in, and that's job done. Right, they're all lagged back in. I just need to drag the insulation over the top, so we've got full control of this new section of pipework. I've got to go down and make sure I capped them off, because I don't want to flood the place. So I'll do that, get them on, pressurise the system, job done. Right. Them their pipes downstairs are capped off, so do I leave them switched on or off? No, I'll leave them on in case they nick the pipes, but we'll come back in a couple of weeks or whenever, or next week, and hang that radiator. But at least then we've got full control, all the hard work's done. We've just got one radiator to fit, and this job's all done then. Right, that's got that job all sorted. I was pleased just to get that one done, really. I know I've got to go back and fit the radiator, but I just felt really uneasy going back, because obviously what happened with the gas safe inspection and all that. Anyway, I think we're all right. I can post that video. I was going to post it and then didn't, and then I've been umming and ahhing. But as I say, I've got absolutely nothing to hide. I know my gas pipe was, if he's going to be really pedantic, I probably should have had about 1/2 metre of 28 in there, but the actual fact is it would have made absolutely zero difference. It was pretty much bang on to the regs, within 0.02 of a millibar or something like that. It wouldn't have even shown on a gauge, really. It was the governor that was at fault. But yeah, I can post that video. As always, thank you so much for watching. There's probably been a bit more talking in this one than normal, but it's been a nice, I don't know if it's been a nice video, a good video, or whatever. But yeah, it's sometimes nice just to get stuff off your chest a little bit, and it's sometimes nice just to be able to talk a little bit. So yeah, thank you for watching. We'll catch you all next week.